ABC 27 News at noon. But right now, we do want to check the forecast for you.
Well, and listen, there's two ways to look at this, right? We're getting some peaks of blue and some sunshine, but it's windy and chilly, James. And so that's the deal. Here is Waynesboro, and we are looking out over Franklin County at this hour. And there you can see the flag right here. Yeah, it's blowing around pretty good. And it is going to be cool and windy today as we check out your headlines. Tomorrow looks great, though. Really a spectacular day on Thursday as the winds die down, and then a warmer Easter weekend. And yes, we're entitled to a warm weekend. Gosh darn it. We've suffered through damp and wet and cold and windy weekends, and this one looks pretty good, all things considered. We have clouds overhead in Millersburg at the middle school. The lawns are looking lush with all the rain that we've had here so far this month. So we do have some breaks in the clouds, but notice the northwest flow. We're getting moisture from the lakes, and so that's why we do anticipate the clouds to kind of rule the day, especially this morning. But I think we'll start to see some clearing, especially by this afternoon. Temperatures already popping up to near 50 in York. That's a good sign because I said we would likely get into the low 50s today, and we're already close to 50. Now, it's much colder to the west, 33 in Johnstown. These are some winter-like numbers in Du Bois and State College. And in fact, we are about 10 to 15 degrees colder than yesterday at this time. So temperatures are not going in the right direction. They're getting worse. And it is going to be a very windy day as well. In fact, those winds now at 15 to 25 miles an hour locally. It is pretty gusty out there, and that is going to be the case here throughout the day. Williamsport, a 22-mile-an-hour wind there. Doppler radar quiet for now. Clean sweeps. We did have a couple of sprinkles overnight. They have since gone by the wayside. Now, despite the wild weather Susan and I were talking about earlier, we had hail yesterday. We had wind damage. It was a pretty wild afternoon. Today, we do not expect that. It's just going to be windy and chilly. But let's recap. Look at all the storm reports yesterday. We had several reports of wind damage and some hail. Some of these cold core thunderstorms really did it. Yesterday, Colonial Park, about a half-inch hail in diameter here just after 5 o'clock, and then around 5:15 in Palmyra, quarter-inch hail falling in that location. Meanwhile, thunderstorm wind damage here from Montgomery Ferry, northern Dauphin County, multiple trees and wires down in Millersburg and Halifax just shy of 3 o'clock. But there was a lot of this non-thunderstorm wind damage, which I talked about yesterday morning, that we would see some very gusty winds with or without the storms, and a lot of non-thunderstorm wind damage. This one coming from Dover, multiple trees and wires down there. Today, 52, still windy, gusting to over 35 miles an hour. Partly sunny, but I think it gets probably mostly sunny by the end of the day, because tonight we clear out and things get frosty, 34 degrees. And in fact, you may want to cover up the sensitive plants. So we've got this big trough. You can still see it here in the east with this cool weather, and this post-frontal trough really creating almost a secondary wave of cool air. But there is a ridge in the west, and this is starting to build now, and it's going to start to trend eastward. And as it does, well, temperatures are going to build in. And in fact, we're already seeing that 50s in Texas, Denver, Topeka, near 60 in Memphis. So that warm air is going to start to flow to the north as we move into tomorrow. So today, PrecisionCast thinks we might even get into the mid-50s. And with York already being at 50, I could buy that. Tonight, we dip down into the low 30s. And again, frosty night on the way, followed by a decent afternoon. Tomorrow looks great, less breezy. Sunshine wall-to-wall, and temperatures in the low 60s. There is a frost advisory for tonight. Again, the growing season has begun locally in these counties, and they do have frost potential tonight at 30 to 35 degrees, so just be aware of it. It'll be isolated, but it certainly could occur. Windy today. Now, tomorrow, less so. I think the breeze really stays in check. May still be a little breezy at times, but not as bad. And as we move into Friday, guess what? The breeze comes back, but it's a southwest wind, and that's going to take us into the 70s. So we will see some clearing. Clouds are going to be a bit stubborn, though, today, especially in the east. So we'll call it partly sunny. Tomorrow, though, sunshine, pleasant. As I mentioned, temperatures getting into the low 60s. And then Friday looks decent now. There could be a few passing clouds early, but I think most of the day is going to be gorgeous. And we pop up into the 70s. So how about that? That's going to be awesome. The extended outlook shows this trough is going to lift out. Look at this ridge coming in Friday. How about Saturday's warm up here? Saturday, we should be near 80 degrees. And then notice the flow here. Very west to east next week, very zonal. And what that tends to mean is temperatures stay pretty steady. There's not a lot of ups and downs, and I think we stay steady in the 70s. So Friday, warm front to the north, we stay dry. Cold front sags through Saturday night with a few evening showers. Easter Sunday will stay dry, but clouds start to increase, and then the front moves through next Monday with a few more showers. So when we look at our chances of precipitation, not a great chance any day, but Saturday and Monday seem to be the best chance at it. Here's your 3-day forecast. Should stay dry today, but cool and windy. Sunny and pleasant tomorrow. Probably the best day of the week, although Friday now will challenge that as we get up to 72. Some stray evening showers on Saturday, highs up to 80 degrees, but a decent day otherwise. And then Easter Sunday, a few more clouds now, but I still think it's going to be nice, 72. And again, temperatures staying near 70 as we head into next week. Well, coming up next, local artisans, plants.